Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Lakefront Airport, Canoe. This video is not really going to be a continuation of my Father's Day video, but kind of a continuation of a tour of around the New Orleans area. And I have a pretty good story I'm going to talk about with this flight here. And yeah, I think you all might find it interesting. Okay, and I thought about this because we had a tornado not too far that hit near our area, and it brought some flashbacks of what happened to me, which I'm going to talk about in back in 2017, February 7th, 2017. So let me go ahead and get the plane started, and I'm going to fly on out to Venetian Isles, but along the way I'm going to talk about what I'm getting at here. So let me go ahead and get the plane. I got a 152 right here, Cessna 152, because it just, this is going to have to be a slow flight so I can kind of discuss things. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, mixture full rich. Let's prime it once. Parking brake is on. Okay, strobe lights. And I'm going to turn my beacon and nav lights on. I always turn those on. Everything else is looking good. And we're cleared up front. Prop is clear. So let's go ahead and start the plane now. Wait, let me check the fuel. Is the fuel? How's the fuel? Fuel valve off. Okay, well, I'm going to start. I forget that a lot in this 152. So let me go ahead and start the plane now. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and get ready to taxi out. First, let's tune into the ATIS.
Information Oscar 1600 Zulu. Wind 271 at 4. Visibility 9er.
Yeah, so when I take off, I'm going to make a turn out to the east. And I'll head on over to Venetian Isles. And finally, I'll most likely will land somewhere in Slidell.
Altimeter 29.992. Visual runway 18 left and ILS runway 18 right in use.
18 left. So we're right by 18 left right now.
VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back, hold short instructions.
Okay.
Lakefront ground Cessna Golf Charlie Tango 1022 with Oscar request taxi for takeoff departure to the east.
Let's get the parking brake off.
Charlie Tango 1022 taxi 2 and hold short of runway 36 left via taxiway Foxtrot Charlie cross runway 36 right Charlie Bravo cross runway 9er Bravo.
Oh, they telling me to hold short of runway 36 left. Okay.
Taxiing hold short runway tree 6 left via taxiway Foxtrot Charlie cross runway tree 6 right Charlie Bravo cross runway 9er Bravo Cessna 022.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get it moving. Actually, you know what? The taxiway is on the other side. But I can taxi here too, but really, you know, this is the taxiway here. And 36 left is up here. Instead of 18 left, I'm going to go to 36 left. So I believe it's going to be down here on the north side. But this is good right here. Let's hold short right here. That's what we're supposed to do.
Lakefront Tower Cessna Golf Charlie Tango 1022 ready at runway tree 6 left east departure.
Cessna Golf Charlie Tango 1022 altimeter 29.9er 21271 at 4. East departure approved.
Okay, let's go. We
Cleared
good.
for takeoff runway 36 left.
Cleared for takeoff runway tree 6 left Cessna 022.
I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to go ahead and Make my turn, line up, and go. It's just a 152, and very little runway is needed. at this point. 60, let's go. Alright, now I'm going to turn out to the west a little bit.
Cessna 022, continue for east departure.
And this will be 100%
Lakefront
VFR. I'm
Tower,
not even
Cessna
going to use
Golf
any
Charlie
maps or
Tango
anything.
1022,
Going to
continue
use
for east departure.
VFR regulations only. And I know this area, so I'm able to do that. Climb up a little bit more. The only thing about taking the 52 rather than the 172 is, you know, no autopilot, so I'll just have to kind of watch stuff to the plane a little bit. But it'll be all right once I get it flying like it should. South Shore Harbor right over here. And there's a parking lot right there. That used to be a casino right there at the top. Right, look for my mouse pointer. Right up in here. The building is still there, but they changed it into something else. I think it was last, you know, I was there. It was some kind of a bar or something there. I haven't been out there in quite some time. Okay, let's see. I think we're going to be coming up on I-10. Now, this, where we at here is New Orleans East. This is the Louisiana coffee and tea plant right here. This is Dupuy Storage and Forwarding. I used to work here. my first job with intermodal. This is a CSX railroad here. And they had a container terminal here that I used to go to quite a lot. Alright, let's go ahead and get it turned here. Make sure we stay enough in altitude so we can. And this here is Almanasta, this highway right here. Now, onto the story, onto what I was mentioning. When I used to drive and haul intermodal from the port of New Orleans to the railroads and things like that, that day when this tornado came, I was in Avondale, Louisiana, at the UP Railroad container terminal, picking up a 40-foot container to go back to our yard, which was in this area over here. And our yard was, let's see, go down a little further. See if we can recognize it. I believe this area right here. This was our yard. Now, I was in back the yard, right around here. You see where this trailer is right here? But before that, I was picking up at Avondale, and I was on my way, crossed over to Huey P. Longbridge, and was heading back to this yard, which is normally about a 40-minute drive. And when I left, my phone kept going off. Warning, tornado spotted, or in the area. Tornado warning in the area is what it was saying. And when I'm on the Huey Long, I can look around really good, and I don't see. I'm looking around. I did not see any tornadoes. I was on the phone with a friend of mine. We use hands-free headsets, the Blue Parrot headsets, is what we all had back then because they had noise cancellation. You can hear real good. So a lot of times we'd be talking. And he was also a driver too, but he was off that day. So anyway, I'm driving from Avondale over to New Orleans East, cross over to Huey Long, going through Elmwood and down on north on Clearview or Causeway it was, I don't remember, but anyway, headed north back to the I-10, and it kept going off. Tornado warning in effect. You know, then it started saying something about take cover. I looked around and didn't see nothing. So I kept on driving as usual, got off at that exit right there, which was, you know, right around where you see Louisiana. I mentioned this exit that's behind me here. And to get on Almanassa, came on down like I normally do, to drop at in the yard, drop at that that empty container off the 40-footer, and I got to the yard. I did, you know, went to my office, which was right here, little office there, and I told the dispatcher I dropped off, and so we go over to he gets the paperwork to, you know, has the load for me to pick up to go get weighed at the truck stop, which was over this area, the Palace truck stop, which is right here. This is the Palace truck stop. And so I'm hooking up to that load in the yard, and it was going off again about 2 or 3 more times. It kept going off. I'm on the phone still with my friend at this point. I'm like, man, why I keep saying that? I keep saying a tornado was near. I don't see no tornado around here. We cracked a few jokes or whatever, and then it started saying imminent danger. And now keep in mind, I backed up to this loaded trailer to hook up, okay, and I hooked up to the trailer, and it said imminent danger, and I thought that was weird because it didn't say that before. It was not saying that. It was really beeping loud and imminent danger. I'm like, what is this? And I told him, I'm not saying imminent danger, man. I didn't see no tornado. And then that's when I rolled up my landing gear and everything. I was about to hook my cables up, and I started walking around to get back in the truck, and that's when I noticed it. I seen this tornado coming down Chef Highway, in between Chef Highway and Almanassa, and this thing was absolutely huge. And when I tell you it was coming for me at the area I was standing at, I'm not exaggerating. I was right here. See my mouse point? I was standing right there. And that thing was coming right here, right down here. It turned to containers over in the yard.
New Orleans approach Cessna Golf Charlie
I
Tango
had,
1022 is type Cessna.
by the time I realized that, I might have had about, I don't even think I had about 7 minutes to get the hell out of there. And now, this was a loaded intermodal container truck, 18-wheeler, loaded, day cab, Freightliner.
Squawk 2 tree
And
47 Cessna
when I started leaving, I never went through that many gears as quick as I did. And I got out in that truck, and I just started leaving, and another driver was coming into the yard right when I was leaving, and I told him, I said,
Roger Cessna 022.
I said, man, do not go back there. There is a tornado back there. And he didn't know what to think. He just froze pretty much. And it was, I'm pointing here, but this was a yard. There used to be tons of containers all through here. But he stopped, and I got here, right here at the exit, and I mean, I took this left right here, and I took off. I mean, I tell you what, I floored that truck. I got right here and turned right, got on Almanassa, and I didn't know which way the tornado was going because it was kind of crossing over going this way, and I was headed this way towards the truck stop. So I'm like, oh, that's not the best way to go. So what I did is I turned around, and as I was turning around, my steer tire was getting really close to the edge of the road here on Almanassa, and that area, the ground was really wet and soft right there. So it was pretty close because that U-turn, I didn't have much room, so it was pretty close for that truck to get stuck there. And I'm like, well, great. I'm sitting there staring at this tornado. I'm telling you, right here, literally right here. I'm staring at that thing, and right here, and it looks like it's going on an angle. Like, I was like, this is a freaking joke. It's like that thing was chasing me or something. So once I got the truck turned down this way, that I pretty much laid the hammer down and went straight as fast as I could all the way down west, down Almanassa. And supposedly, when I talked to them in the office was this little mobile office here, and that was the shop. And this mobile office, if that tornado hit that mobile office, there was a lot of people in there, and I was kind of really worried about them. And so when I called after I came here, I called and said, "Man," I told them I had a really close call right there. I was literally in back the yard, and that thing was like just coming for the exact spot I was standing on. So that was a hell of an experience. Basically, I got lucky. I got really, really lucky that day. My cell phone saved my life. I can promise you that. If I'd have been in the back of that yard, man, if you would have seen the damages, you can look online, February 7th, 2017, New Orleans East tornado, and watch the damage that thing did. You would not believe it. And yeah, it was a hell of a thing. So if you ever hear your phone going off, take it serious. If it says imminent danger, you're in a lot of freaking trouble. I can promise you that. If you have your cell phone and it says imminent danger, it's coming right for you. I can tell you right now, it's coming right for you. It might say take cover now and things like that. That means there's one in the area. But if it says imminent danger, take it serious. Because that was the first and only time I've ever saw that on my phone. So, a lot of times people like to think cell phones is like, kind of a bad thing. It just kind of, as years went by, and it just, a lot of people, always on their phone, using things, not socializing and stuff. But there is good parts of a cell phone, and it can save your life. Just that alone is a really good thing. So, yeah, so that was one thing I wanted to mention here, because whenever I come around in this area, whether I'm driving or whether I'm flying in flight simulator, I think about that. I can still see that image in my mind with this massive tornado just coming straight down that highway, like towards the spot I was freaking standing on. I can still see that in my mind. So yeah, I got away with it. It was just basically quick thinking, because I always told myself, if I'm ever somewhere and I see a tornado and it's coming near me or something, I'm just gonna get in a vehicle and just gun it and take off and get out of there. Storm chasers do it all the time. Why can't I do it? That was my way of thinking. But so I remembered that, and I just went by that. It kind of worked, but I had a loaded semi, which was good and bad. Good part was it was really heavy. I mean, I was bringing it to get weighed really, really heavy. Not to say the tornado couldn't blow it over, but that extra weight on that truck definitely makes a difference, because that wind was blowing. And so when I was loaded, I was also slow, though. Really slow. You have, a Freightliner, a day cab, you have 10 gears to go through, and it was a manual. So, yeah, so it was a hell of a thing. Okay, so anyway, that's the story that I wanted to mention, since every time I fly through here, I wanted to fly through here, just take off from Lakefront Airport and fly out to Venetian Isles, but like I said, I can't help but mentioning that as I'm flying through here, because I'm thinking about that. So, okay, so enough of the tornado. Let's keep on. Let's head on out to Venetian Isles, and I'll tell you about that. This is 510 right here. It goes out to Chalmette down there. That's Chalmette out this way. This refinery, Chalmette refinery there. And this highway over here is going to go into Venetian Isles. Now, Venetian Isles is it's on the western shore of Lake Bourne. Like, if you're looking at Lake Bourne, it's the far west shore, and it's like it starts kind of right there, and it goes from 510 through pretty much until you get on the Slidell twin spans, Venetian Isles. So right here is Highway 90. Yeah, this is Highway 90. Coming to right here. It's on the left. this right here runs right onto its Highway 90. And now we're going to get to another place that's kind of interesting too. This is called Mishu. It's the NASA facility. They used to build the fuel tanks for the space shuttles here. And they still do a lot of things here. And it's been a while since I've been out here, but if you notice, it says NASA right here. Look at this. NASA. And that's exactly the image right here too. NASA. That's been there since I was a kid. A very long time. Talking since the 80s. You know, that is a big facility. And that's what they did there. They used to build the fuel tanks for the space shuttles. Now the space shuttles aren't flying anymore, so I'm really not sure what they do there, but they do other things. I think, you know, they still build parts to rockets, I believe, and things like that there. And we're continuing on down Highway 90. Let me get a little bit higher because I'm kind of low and it's making it a little bit difficult to, you know, get a broader view of the area. So the twin spans are right up there on the left. And over here, this is, we get near Venetian Isles now. We probably, well, really as soon as we got past 510, we were kind of in the area somewhat, but you're going to see the marina up here. There's a marina. Okay, now this is Lake Bourne right here. You got Lake Bourne, and then you have past Lake Bourne on the north shore of Lake Bourne is the Wrigley's. The Wrigley's is the waterway that leads from Lake Pontchartrain to the Gulf of Mexico. And there is some wildlife sanctuaries around here. Bayou Sauvage National Wildlife, and it's called the Blind Lagoon, is also here. I think that is it right there, the Blind Lagoon. And this should still be Highway 90, I believe, right here, unless I'm not recognizing it. But yeah, that the twin spans are out this way, so this is Highway 90. And if I keep following 90, you're gonna see 11. I think 11 is this 11 right here. Coming up. Let me see, 11. Highway 11 goes up to I-10 from 90. Now this is the marina here. This is this is the marina out here, in there is also some houses and stuff here in Venetian Isles. Let's get a better look here. Yeah, you'll see. And some of them have, you know, quite a few of them have docks and everything. That's the houses there in Venetian Isles. And if we keep on going down this way, we will cross over and eventually keep going down, following 90. You'll get to the Wrigley's, and out there is Fort Pike, which I'm going to fly out that way too. You can't really see the bridges right now, but they kind of go right up in there. There's one here and one there. The I-10 twin spans is right there. But this is all still 90. That right there is the train bridge. Yeah, this is the train bridge on the right here. This is all 90. Going around this way, and then you're going to see the Wrigley's. I believe up here on the right, the Fort Pike. You know, we approaching St. Catherine. This is Lake Catherine. I'm sorry, Lake Catherine. All right here, Lake Catherine. Go a little further now, and this is going to be more Pike. We can take a look at that. It's not much further, so I may as well just show you all that too. So yeah, so if you got a boat or anything, you come through Pontchartrain, pass right through the Wrigley's here, and you'll be out into the Gulf. I was going to take a sailing trip on an O-Day 22 I used to have. Before I had my 133. I had an O-Day 22, and I was going to take that from Mandeville out through the Wrigley's. And this is called Little right here. And I was going to anchor it there and spend a night and then continue on. I was going to do a little Gulf Coast sailing trip. That was a long time ago, but the weather wasn't really cooperating, so I had to kind of scratch the trip at the last minute. And that night before, I never got hardly any sleep, and it was cold. It was really cold, but it warmed up in the afternoon, but the weather was just way too iffy, and you know, I bought all of my supplies and stuff, and I was planning on going for at least a week or so, but it never happened. I kind of wish I would have done it anyway, regardless, but it didn't happen. It's one of those things where you got to kind of do it at the time, because you may not get to do those things. You got to do it when you're able to, you know, because you never know what happens down the road. You know, Fort Pike is right here. I don't know if it is modeled in the sim or not, but it's right here. I thought it was. I have a video on my channel with a car boat out in the Wrigley's. And we are all around Fort Pike, but this right here. Yeah, I think you can kind of see it right around here. Yeah, right here. Right there, you can see it right here. I'm just a little bit higher now. I mean, what am I? 1,500 feet. Not too high though, but that's it right there. It's Fort Pike. Right here. That. And there's a little boat launch right here. We launched at that boat launch before, and we came around and went right here, and you can see that landed that boat right here. You can see that on that video, that exact little spot right there. And you can see this house here. This is the Wrigley's Marina, and that was another place I thought about coming with my boat and staying there. You know, as a stopover before getting into the Gulf. Staying there and getting some more things, supplies or whatever I might need. Alright, so now we are into the Slidell area. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to continue heading on this way, and I'm going to head on back to the Lakefront Airport. No, I'll tell you what. Instead, let's do this. Let's go right here and land. KASD. Which, that is the Slidell airfield. No, Pearly. No, yeah, Slidell. Okay. Now this is going to be fun selecting a runway, because I don't quite know. I think it's going to be 36 coming from this direction.
Kilo Alpha Sierra Delta, traffic Cessna Golf Charlie Tango, 102210 miles, south,
See,
1,500
we're obviously
feet,
close.
inbound to land runway 36.
Now, I know it says it's going to be all totally VFR, but yeah, I got this little VFR map on right now because I want to come here to land rather than go back to Lakefront Airport. I'm not really too familiar with this one. I've been there a couple of times. I've actually been there with a real plane, too. I was doing my flying lessons. Yeah, there's the twin spans. See right here? Right across. They're not as long as they look. Nothing compared to like a very tiny version of the causeway. You know, this is the Highway 11 bridge. And then this I'm pretty sure is a paved airport, but I'm not seeing it yet. But let me just stay at least at 1,000. I'm gonna stay throttled up because I don't want to get too much lower than this. And if you remember in my Father's Day video, I mentioned Middendorf's. Recently, a few years back or so, they built a Middendorf's out here. That's where it's at right there. It's the same owners and same good food, but it's a new restaurant. Now we over. This is what you see here. All of this is Eden Isles. See now, so it's like a much bigger version of Venetian Isles, way bigger, you know. See, but it's similar. You know, you have all of these houses along the water, the waterways going through and boats, things like that. A lot of times. This airport, I think it's right up here. I want to say that's it. Pretty sure. Yeah, okay. That's it. So let's just go ahead on in. We at 1,400 feet, so I'm going to back off. Get it dropped down some. Obviously, it's going to be no problem landing the plane. It's a Cessna 152. And by the way, I want to mention that in the last video I talked about that Seagrams I had, that Bahama Mama. That was a really good little drink. I mean, it was weak, not real strong, not, I think only like 3-point-something% alcohol volume. So you're not going to drink it for that reason. You're going to drink it because it tastes good. I'm not normally somebody who drinks a lot, but every now and then I don't mind having something like that. Mostly when I'm flying, whatever, mostly what I do is I drink tea. Unsweet tea, and I usually have sweet and low I put in it, but which is not the best for you, but in my situation, it's better than sugar. I also don't want to make the mistake, oh, it's just a Cessna, and end up messing up here, but it's going to be really hard to do that. I'm not even having no trouble with wind or anything right now. But yeah, I do remember coming to this airport with my flight instructor, my uncle. I did come here. He owned, I think, 2 152s and a 172. I'm trying to think that's that mile that is out there, that little shopping area. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, they got like a Best Buy and a bunch of things to keep out there. I believe. I dig Sporting Goods, which I love that store and Academy. some of my favorite stores because they have a lot of kayaks, and yeah, I do like that. Hopefully I can start showing some kayaking videos on my channel. You know, I don't know when, but hopefully I can start doing that soon. At least have some new ones up there, because the ones I have on there, are, you know, as you notice, if you notice any of those, are really, really old. They way back from 09, 2010, things like that. And I will have to go into detail about that incident that happened to me at Deer Island, that barrier island off the coast of Biloxi. Something happened there, and right before my 40th birthday, and second time that I could say I'm lucky that I'm alive. But that happened long before the tornado incident. Okay, now let's drop a little bit of flaps in, coming down a little bit too quick. Alright, right down, no problem. And if you want to know why to fly the 152, that's the reason right there. The 152 and the 172 is so easy to land. You're not going to be crashing at the very end after a long flight or anything. I'm sorry, hit the brake. Mistake. I mean, it's appropriate for this flight here. It's just a little short tour flight, even though I kind of drug it out a lot longer. I circled around New Orleans East there, talked about the tornado. How many times? About 6 times. But yeah, turned out to be a good takeoff and landing, so let's go ahead and do this. Clear the runway.
Kilo Alpha Sierra Delta, traffic Cessna Golf Charlie Tango 1022 is clear of the runway.
Now let's get the plane parked. GA parking's right down there, and that's all that's going to come in here is GA. I don't think you can have any big airplanes. Although that runway is long enough to land a jet. No doubt about that. It's kind of strange seeing an F-22 right there. But I'm sure it happens. A Kodiak right there and a TPM. Oh, look at that. I just downloaded this livery here for the DA62. And there it is right there. It's a good looking livery, that orange right there. We're going to park right here where he's directing us. Okay, mixture, cut, parking brake is on. We'll cut the fuel valve off and turn the batteries off and get the plane shut off. Alright, total time of flight 30 minutes and 38 seconds. My total log time is really getting up there, 431 hours. Not bad. Okay, so I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And thanks for watching. Bye for now.